And our topic tonight is about inherited patterns that keep repeating. And we can be going in flow and then boom, something comes up, right? That's what we're going to talk about today. And that's what the visualization is about, that you can come back to, listen to it again, visualize it again, and learn to stop that feeling of being stuck or trapped or caught off guard. Because it's a process and we all have it. hmm And I've said it before, but there's no fault to anyone in our lineage. Just like if we're parents, we didn't just decide we were going to, send these things to our kids. There's nobody's done something wrong. This truly is not bad karma. Okay? Bad karma is something else. All right? But our inherited patterns are truly just about how our DNA expresses itself, and that is based on our lineage. And yes, I do talk about our learned behaviors and those things that the subconscious traps during our lifetime. So you see, there's a multiple of ways that can complicate our life that we move forward through. But that's the whole process of life, isn't it? That's one of the reasons we're here, is to really learn who we are, feel confident, and do things we didn't think we could do, right? So we can live that purposeful life that we created before we came, or we had a desire to create. And if I can help facilitate in that way, any way, through this or in my private work or my group, Clear DNA group, I love having you in my life. And because this is what feeds my soul, this is my life purpose. But it was a journey to get here, right? Okay. All right, I am going to get to content, dear ones, because in tonight's session, I wanted to address how it can be quite frustrating to have a limiting inherited pattern show up when we least expect it or want it. And isn't it funny how they seem to wait until you're in the beautiful flow of new progress and true acceptance, and you're feeling empowered, and your power for life then becomes inconveniently stunted, right? As these things show up in our life. Now they can show up before we're in flow and just completely block us from stepping in or taking action in our life. There's not a real rhyme or reason. I'm just talking about when we begin to think we're moving forward and then boom, something shows up. Yeah. So today I wanted to break down not only your increased awareness of these, I'm going to call them broken records, these inherited patterns, but we're going to call them broken records tonight, okay? But also how you can transform them when they arrive, okay? And turn them into empowering, positive change, because it is possible. It is. The first thing to realize is that as you are making progress in your life within, your health, your wealth category, your relationship category, to yourself and to others, right? And as you are creating a sense of inner awareness and spirituality, okay, you are crafting new expectations and definitions around what it looks like and feels like. And those are new paradigms often, and that's stepping through uncomfortability. And as you build momentum and new choices and habits and self-talk help you silence your old stories. Yeah, right? They become quieter and quieter. Instead, your new creative flow seems like, a beautiful music to your mindset. That's how I like to look at it. What's the rhythm to my mindset? What's the frequency? What's the flow of music? This beautiful music to my mindset, and I want it to be to yours too. But along your new path of self-growth, self-discovery, there's going to be, and there always is, to be a moment where you are triggered by a little event, a major event, an interaction, a memory, right, etc. It might not even be applicable to what you're doing moving forward. Oh, but there it is showing up. And with that trigger, it acts as the scratch on a broken record. And suddenly your limiting inherited pattern, it begins to repeat in your life again. We all have them, everyone, keeping you in a spiral of losing your newfound power. But here is the neat little trick that I recommend you can use for those negative triggers as a means to recognize and recalibrate. Everybody can recalibrate. We can recalibrate our body, we can recalibrate ourselves, we can recalibrate our mindset, we can recalibrate our life. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. There's steps. 1, you experience the trigger that attempts to get you off track by turning up the volume on the limiting inherited pattern. Look at it. Stop ignoring these things. Stop squashing it down, right? Stop ignoring the pattern. Do not get angry at yourself or frustrated. What happens when we get angry with ourselves and we blame ourselves, then we're never going to feel good enough. When we get angry at the outside world or someone else, we become a victim. Neither way does it work. So anger is a process of learning to let go of it and transforming it into movement, okay? So try not to get angry or frustrated with it. Simply be with the feeling of this old pattern. 2, inside of that feeling, right? Breathe. Breathe it in, breathe it out. I mean, take 2 or 3 breaths. There is something that it quiets the sympathetic system in the nervous system, energy system when we breathe. But we forget to breathe when we're angry. We forget to breathe when we're frustrated. Oh no, that's not what happens, right? We don't stop to breathe. We take action in our frustration and it builds up in our mind. I know, okay? So 2 or 3, whatever your preference is, I want you to breathe. You're going to be surprised how doing that will change your awareness. With each exhale of the breath, you are quieting the limiting pattern of your mind. No longer letting it overwhelm the progress you've been enjoying, because you want to get back into flow. See, you don't want to be held up by this trigger. Your mind's eye, in your mind's eye, allow yourself to see that old pattern as a broken record on a turntable. Think of an old-fashioned turntable, the record. And when that comes up, that trigger, it could be a scratch. It could be just the record is broken. Remove the record and throw it away. Now, this is not a step of throwing it in anger. It doesn't work, okay? You're just going to take it off and drop it in the trash. Throw it away, okay? Next, visualize yourself placing a new record that represents your new habit, confidence, that feeling you were feeling, the movement you are making, whether it's in your business, in a new career you're doing, in your family, in a relationship that you're moving forward with. Okay? All right. Then smile, because when you do this, you'll think of me, and I love being, in your life. But you'll smile at yourself, at the new music, and you'll get back into flow, everyone. You'll go back into divine flow. You see, the brain needs something to do. That's why I teach you these things. They're not all going to land for you in all my different stuff I teach you. I promise you a few will. And when you develop the habit of doing them, it will change your mindset too. Now, the next 3-step process is something, or the process is something you can practice anytime, anywhere. Experience one of those negative triggers, you just start the process, all right? In addition to the 3 tips, I also wanted to share with you a special visualization to really visualize it, see it, experience it with me, so that you can grasp this concept, feel it in your body, and be able to do it again. That way you can experience this powerful shift right now Okay. So what I want you to do is before we begin the visualization, I want you to tell me, are you aware, are you aware when you are moving forward that there's things that throw you off and trigger you? Are you aware of these types of things that show up? See, if we're not even aware, that's a whole nother topic. But oftentimes we can feel stuck, right, and have a hard time taking action. I get that, and I think we're more aware of those. But are you aware when you get frustrated and angry just over things? Maybe somebody looks at you wrong, literally. Anyone want to share? Yes, Tasha, dear one. New story, new music, new path. And you are on a roll with your food. So proud of you. All right. Anchor yourself in that pride. That's what I have been trying to do. Okay, is this a healthy pride, Stacy? Or are you saying it's a not healthy pride? I find you have a very healthy pride. I just want to make sure I understand you. We could be triggered when we have someone in our world ask us to do something when we had something else planned. Well, what is that really showing you? It's showing you that there's an inherited pattern of not honoring your time, honoring yourself, always trying to live up to the expectation of others. Be creative. What triggers you in your life? If you put it in there, I'll be able to tell you if it's inherited or not. Yeah, I can do that pretty quick. Okay. There's a good chance it's inherited and it's a learned behavior. I did another call before this. It's my live DNA call. And I do a live clearing. I do releasing of energy and inherited patterns in it. Every person has a few minutes to talk to me. And in there, what was coming up, I'm just going to share this, is somebody bought a house. And even they were excited to buy a house. They'd waited, it's their first home. And they had waited, 20 years to buy a home. And even though they took the money out of their account to buy the home, within a few hours of purchasing the home, the excitement went away and they were triggered in, I don't have any more money. I have no money. You with me? That's a trigger, everybody. That's an inherited scarcity. Mm-hmm. Things like that. We have to be aware in the moment, because see, what will happen is if you're not aware, what happens is we shut down. We lose our motivation. We won't take action. We won't make the phone call. We won't get back and follow up. We'll say no to invitations and opportunities. We just don't feel like it, or it doesn't feel right. Well, there's two reasons why it's going to feel right or not feel right. It doesn't feel right if there's a block there. Nothing feels right when there's a block there, because the brain goes into all sorts of reasons why it's not right, and it may not be the truth. And it can feel right when you're being very intuitive and it really isn't right. But until you become more aware, it's very hard to know that you can trust your intuition or not. All right. What do I have here? Angry at your partner. And if you're not, yeah. Healthy pride. I knew it, girl. I knew, Stacy. And angry, feeling insecure when he doesn't give me time. Well, Annapurna, you have a love language of time being of high value. When somebody you love gives you time, that is like the ultimate for you. Gifts don't matter to you, okay? But time does. Quality time matters to you. That's important for you to recognize. Is this the ex-partner we're talking about, or the current partner? I'm curious, because oftentimes when our love is not being received where it lands for us, it's also a sign. Now, it can be taught. There are ways that a partner will learn to do that. But when it's a struggle like that, it's often a sign that it's just not right. And that's a whole nother topic, right? Tell me which partner this is, love. Mm-hmm. All right. Am I pronouncing it correctly, dear one? Danaris? Well, let me tell you, the fear of change and trust that everything is okay. I would say it's one of the number one things aside from money fears, okay, is that fear of change. The fear of change is super big, all right? If you don't have it, I have an amazing 3-set fear of change. They're audios, and they literally, the subconscious, I connect with your subconscious, and your body will release those vibrations. It helps a lot. It's just a thought. This is visualization is going to help you a lot too. Okay, because the fear of change, it's complicated. It can be because we're afraid of making a mistake. The fear of change can be we don't want to look bad, right? We don't want to do it wrong. You are probably a bit of a perfectionist, dear one, and what you do well, you do really well. And so anything where you don't know how you're going to make it happen, if you don't believe in yourself, it just complicates it. So then you doubt yourself. I promise you, you don't need to doubt yourself. Okay. So my suggestion for you is to take just one step at a time. Okay. Yeah. All right. What else do I have? Stacy, you're speaking with more gratitude. Really, gratitude is really a vibrational shift, guys. When we give gratitude, if we were to see it under a microscope, and the cells are vibrating at a certain frequency, when you start speaking it out loud using your vocal cords, gratitude, you would literally see those cells change in their frequency and start to vibrate at a higher rate. That's how much gratitude changes. Changes our mind, it changes our energy, it changes our body. So way to go, Stacy. Your new partner has lots, he has lots of work going on and is stressed and tired most of the time. I feel like he has to learn to make time for what's more important and prioritizing. Those are his learned behaviors and inherited patterns. And that's something to look at, dear one, because this is who he is. I say, I have an idea for you. Let's do one thing at a time. Let's finish up the one. Okay. Finish up the one. Then we go to 2 and start navigating in that one. Okay. Because it might actually shift it. The partnership that you're in right now, he earns his worth this way. It's learned behavior from his own father. It's probably not going to change. But maybe you can change, or maybe you won't. Or maybe you'll learn to live within it, right? We can talk about it. Hello, Dina. Oh, I love you. Big hugs right back to you. All right, let's do a visualization, okay? Let's make that happen, everyone. Thank you for the exchange. Oh, Tracy, I missed it. When people engage in power play communication with you, you are way too smart, Tracy, dear. You are way too smart to be manipulated by anybody thinking that they can communicate that way to you. Just know that. Like I would, and you're triggered because of childhood. You know that. So you are too wise, you are too smart, and all you got to do, little one, in that little brain of yours, not little one, in that brain of yours, is just repeat to yourself, like, I'm unattached to this. This is their issue. It kind of sounds odd when we say this is not me, but them, but it does something in the subconscious. Yeah, it is a trigger for you, but you can move through it. And my goal for you in that is that you're just unattached to it. You look at it like, yeah, okay. You're not going to buy into it, and you're not going to need to respond. Okay. In fact, you could just, we can talk about ways to respond. Okay. All right. Your boyfriend hi Sharon, your boyfriend has a regular part-time job and his own contractor's license. I know he works a lot and I'm okay with that. The quality of time we do have together, I can feel his love. okay, I know he's working hard now and for a better future, as long as you feel validated in the relationship. See, I don't think quality time, Sharon, is actually your love language. All right. I think you value quality time, but you also value that he's doing things for the both of you. That's a big, that's big for you. So what is somebody else feels diminished, you don't, right? Yeah. Hmm. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, I'm glad, Anna Pure. It makes sense. You're very welcome. Very welcome. All right. Get in a comfortable position, okay? And let's preferably with your feet on the floor, okay, and with your eyes closed, so that you can breathe sitting up, all right, and allow your brain, your subconscious, to do the visualization, and it will. What happens is the conscious mind will create, because it's used to seeing what I'm going to describe, right? It'll create the vision. The subconscious will connect with it as a something that's doable, as a behavior, okay? Let's do it. I'm going to cover my camera. All right. So preferably with your feet on the ground and your eyes closed. Let's begin. Fill your lungs to capacity all the way and hold. A little bit longer. Hold that and give a big exhale as you release the day's tensions and worries, calming that central vertebrae, central nervous system. And on the next breath, it's going to be a belly breath. You've done this with me before. Extending your breath into your stomach and filling it to capacity as you imagine a cord attached to the inside of your belly button and the other end attached to your spinal cord. On the exhale, sense this cord is pulling your stomach back to your vertebrae. A bit more, pull it back tight. There it is, activating the central nervous system all the way up the spinal cord. Yeah, beautiful. One last breath, everyone. Filling your lungs to capacity. I want you to imagine now that you are carrying your breath all the way into the back and all the way up. Carry that breath all the way up to your brain, activating the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere of your brain, activating the cells of your brain, the neural pathways, and all the cells of your body to release what doesn't serve you anymore. There you go. Returning now as I count to a normal breath, okay? As I count from 3 to 1. 3, you are becoming more deeply relaxed. 2, the sounds around you allow you to go deeper relaxed. 1, you sense, feel, and imagine that you are sitting in a luxurious chair in the middle of your gorgeous library in a beautiful historic mansion. You're enjoying your favorite beverage as you become aware that your chair has been made for your body. Comfortable. You're relaxed. The air in the room is a perfect temperature with your favorite drink. As you glance around the room, you notice an old-fashioned record player on an antique bookcase. You hear the music float through the room, the music floating in your cells and all around you. It seems as if this music is hitting every perfect note, giving you a deep sense of serenity, soothing your heart mind, and soul with a blissful sense of calmness and truth that you are on a path of continuous progress, healing, and personal growth. And you are. Everything in your life seems to be an empowered sense of flow. Then, seemingly out of nowhere, you hear a distinct noise of a scratch on the record. Ugh! It pierces your ears with a feeling of familiarity. Again, you heard the scratch of the record before. Then the record begins to repeat again and again. That's when you understand why the scratch and broken record sounds so familiar. It's an inherited pattern that always attempts to limit your expansion, limit your growth, limit your mindset. One that always seems to show up right when you are making changes for the better in your life. Yeah, you know the pattern. As you sit there listening to the annoying repetition of that inherited pattern, you simply close your eyes and breathe in and out, breathing in and out, and breathing in and out. Then you find yourself smiling because you remember and know that you always have a choice. Now and forever, you have a choice. You never have to settle for listening and accepting this self-limiting music on that broken record. You can instantly choose to change the music of your mind and change the vibrational frequency of your thoughts. And so you do. You get up. You get up from your perfect chair, from your sense of comfort. You get up and you walk to the bookcase. You lift the needle from the record and take the broken record off the turntable and drop the broken record effortlessly into the garbage can below. Already starts to feel better. Reach up on a shelf right above it and pull a new record out of its sleeve. Gently place it on the turntable. Set the needle on it delicately, ever so carefully. For a brief moment, you stand in the sweet silence of release from that old broken record, repeating your limiting inherited pattern. As the record begins to play, you hear the music begin to rise up and up again. This is your music, your pure symphony of certainty around all areas of your life. Raising your vibrational energy around money and money flow and money opportunities. Raising the cells in your physical body and your health. Raising the vibrational energy through music in relationships, love, self-acceptance, and accepting love in your life. And yes, raising the frequency of your awareness, your soul's spirituality to manifest in your life. Each song on the record provides you the perfect rhythms, perfect frequencies, and harmonies that provides a surge to your soul. It awakens your soul, it brings it into an alignment, and it brings your soul into alignment with your body. Because you chose to take action, to change the music of your mind. You can always change the record at any time of an inherited negative pattern, whenever it presents itself. Do you feel it? I do for you. Bringing your awareness back to your breath. And as you do so, you look at the room and you know that you will return. And you can do it quickly in the moment that this shows up and change that record at any given moment. I will count from 1 to 3, and you will come back to your space with clarity and inner peace. 1, bringing your awareness back to your body, back to your heart, back to your body. 2, activating the cells in your body with your new integrated soul truth, with the higher frequency and vibration. 3, activating the cells of your body to fully accept the receiving of this new awareness as an action that you take in your life to give you purpose in changing your mindset. And allows you now to have eyes wide open as you are in a receiving mode of clarity and movement forward. And so it is. You are complete. How you doing, dear ones? How are you going? Letting go of attachments, expectation, and judgments. Perfect time to throw that record away, dear one. Yep. It makes sense, Annapura, perfectly. Perfect for me. I'm grateful you're here. Capturing these things in your brain, everyone, when you're in the moment of it, will help you let go of of the habit. It will help you develop new neural pathways. All right? It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight, but it is a process that does move you forward. Anyone have a question for me? Pop it in if you have a question. Nobody has a question? Oh my gosh. Everybody is such a positive frame, right? Nobody wants to know anything. Hi, Sharon, dear. Glad you were here. Record instantly shattered on the floor. Dina, girl, love you. Dina, you got an inherited pattern that this is good enough. Your life's good enough. And yet, I know you are trying so hard to expand, and it can happen for you. I promise. Okay? I promise. I don't know what series came in that package that you got from Darius with me, but if it's the fear of change, I want you to go back and listen to it. All right? I want you to go back and listen to those. Put them on when you go to sleep, okay? I want to be able to help you, and I don't know how else to help you, okay? But I know that they will, unless we do private work or something, okay? But you're great at Akashic Records, and you can have a thriving business at it, okay? I'm glad you're here with me. You had trouble, Elizabeth, pulling the new record out of the sleeve. You struggled a bit and then pulled out a different new record. You know what that just tells me is it just wasn't the right record for you, dear. Like, I see that as a good thing. Oh, it's not this one. Okay, let me get another one. Let me get right to the one that's going to help me. I'm glad you tried another record, and I'm glad you're here with me. All right. You took the record out of the trash to make art with it in my mind. But it will be nice to go back and do the visual, and I need to change the record. Yeah, you're welcome, Dina. You can use the analogy of taking it out to create art with, because you're artistic, as a metaphor, Stacy, to using the wisdom of the past. All right, that you're being creative and allowing the wisdom from it to help you, right? That's how I would think of that for you. Because oftentimes we think we have to learn to just deal with our stuff. And dealing with our stuff doesn't make it move us forward. Changing it is what moves us forward and changes the dynamics of our life. So you're gaining the wisdom from the past, dear one, okay? And you're using it creatively to help others and bring them joy in their life. I know that's where you are, dear one. Yep. You couldn't follow my words. You couldn't follow your words. I was following you. In between, I had a moment. I don't remember what was going on. I feel like I wasn't there. How do I know it worked? Well, it never works the first time. You know what I mean? What I mean by that is it'll create some change in the purity, but you got to go back and do it again. Not everybody has this natural ability to visualize. Just know this. It's like some people are super visual, and that's how they are. Even people that can have gifts of the spirit is a visualization. While if I suspect in your lifetime when you were a little girl, you were never really taught how to play, how to dream. You were busy, you were kept busy, right? Actually, I think that'll be next week. That's a great segue for next week. You have to give yourself permission to dream, because there's a belief that you can't dream because it's never going to happen. This isn't the same. You're just going to listen to my voice, follow the pictures as I create them for you, okay? Your mind will create them. You don't have to think about what the broken record is about. You don't have to think about what the new record is about. You're just doing the process to train the brain of letting go of what doesn't work. That's all you're doing, love, okay? It'll make it easier for you. And once you start doing them, come back and listen to them. You hear different visualizations in my recordings before I release vibrational energy. So that gets the subconscious on board with change. All right? You'll get used to it and it'll come easier for you. It doesn't mean you did it wrong. It's a new muscle, a new, something new that you're developing. That's what it tells me. Yeah. How can we help those creating self-inflicting pain but won't admit it? You can't, Sharon. I know that that's like the worst thing ever to hear, but unless somebody asks us for help, it's not in our life path to do it. And this is what gets interesting is because people come and go on our journey, on our road, or our runway, doesn't mean that you're right, that we are responsible for them on that. That's different if we have children, little children. After 18, they get to make mistakes, okay? And we can't hold on to them or control it. And what that should tell you, Sharon, is that you've gained from the past a wisdom, seems to be our theme, right? You've gained this wisdom from the past, and you truly desire to share it. You need a business doing this. You need a business where people pay you. You'll be able to let go of these other people that's close to you, not necessarily in a relationship, but you won't be overly wanting to help them. You have a gift for helping people. Now you need a business to help you help people and get paid for it. It'll help you a lot, all right? Because what that does is it honors your gift. Now, if they ask you for help, that's different. But if they don't, let it just go into this. This is something they have to go through. Otherwise, you're going to be, it's just going to throw you off, Sharon, in your life. And it's really painful as loved ones make mistakes that with a little bit of wisdom, you could help them avoid it, right? By sharing it. It might not be that you're supposed to, dear. But they'll probably come to you when they fall. Yeah. And then with time, those people that have never asked will start asking. That's happened to me. Okay. Yeah. Yes, need to learn how to play, dream, create as a child. Many of us lost childhoods. I lost it. Yeah, that's very real. It's very real. I say this next week, okay? I think that's perfect. That really helps me to create content, okay? And um, I love that. Thank you, everyone, for giving me that. Thank you, thank you. This week, you're just going to practice. You're just going to practice the 1, 2, 3 process. You're going to become aware of it. You're going to breathe 2 times, 3 if you want, okay? Because it'll calm the central nervous system and it literally creates a pause for you. Imagine in the moment, you're going to need to do the visualization a couple times for several of you first. And then, all right, you'll just pick the record up in your mind's eye or literally just take it up. So oftentimes at night, okay, if I'm looping in something or I had a hard day or something, I'll imagine this record on a turntable by my bed. And what I do is I take it off, throw it away, put on a nice one that'll do healing for me during the night. So I practice this myself, everyone. Okay? Yeah. I do a couple things at night, all right, that help bring that about so that I can go to sleep. Anything else before we sign off? All right. I love you. I love that you're here. I love that you're part of the group. I love that you contribute in the group. That means so much to me. If you never see a response from me and I have not acknowledged it, acknowledge, like tag me in the reply again so I see it. If Facebook is interesting, even in a private group, right? They can get lost and I don't ever see it. So just re-tag me in it and I'll come back in and respond if you need me to respond to something. Okay. But it's important to me that you know that I'm here for you and that that you know that I see your responses to me. Okay. And to the group. Sending you lots of love. Have a great week. And thank you, Stacy. Thank you. Thank you. All right, everyone. Have a lovely weekend. I leave town tomorrow. Maybe I'll do a post on it while I'm there. Okay? Okay. All right, everyone. Bye-bye.